This year's BBC One Christmas presentation is based on an animated story similar to that of 2015's Sprout Boy character, which I actually liked, though I prefer this year's presentation. Last year we saw some 2002-5 modern day ITV-esque idents on One, with the goings on during Christmas, which unfortunately led into the launch of the infamous Oneness idents. To kick off this year's festive look, there was a teaser hinting about the 2nd of December, shown during the last few days of November, which showed a girl pulling a curtain in order to get us thinking about what the possible theme would be. The main trailer debuted on the evening of the 2nd of December and it was titled The Support Act. It starts off with a girl finishing a day at school and then telling her dad, who works as a car mechanic, about a talent show she is taking part in, but then the dad gets a work-related call. I see this as a representation of how some parents, especially single parents in this case, have less time for their children mainly due to their jobs. The promo then leads into the girl putting her music on and then practicing her dancing whilst the dad is constantly busy with chores, fixing a client's car, bringing home the tree, washing the pots, continuing with his job, doing the Christmas shopping, putting the tree up, buying the dinner, and then speaking to clients on the phone and not giving his daughter a chance to tell him about the production. However, the leaflet from the beginning falls from the wall onto the floor. The most heartwarming part comes when we see the bit of a teaser with a curtain where the show is taking part. The dad is in the crowd with his phone, however the girl can't see him, therefore she is upset. But then the dad makes himself visible and becomes the support act. The theme of a 2017 Christmas idents was therefore revealed. The first ident aired featured the father and daughter dancing whilst washing up, and in comparison to the promo, the dad is happier to be more involved with the movement. I feel that these idents take part after the production, as the dad is more jolly and proud of her daughter's exploits. Also, it seems apparent that he has a stronger bond with the daughter, and you can see this in the idents where they are fixing the tree lights, and the one in the supermarket. The nature of these idents may split opinion. Many people may only really want to see animation and focus on a central logo, like in the 1980s and 1990s, as they feel that today's idents are overthought. Maybe idents in this day and age are more about catching the viewer's attention through some sort of entertainment, rather than being about the logo, thus we have moved on from this, and this is something I can accept. The complicated nature of modern idents can be seen through Christmas examples from this year and 2015 on BBC One, and today on Channel 4 with The Blockman, as well as the nature of live action idents, which are more the norm today, and I do feel this is a good thing, despite being a fan of the old technique as well. And I believe you can mix the old technique with live action and thus have a strong unifying symbol to strengthen the core brand. Though, if you are a traditionalist and a believer of an ident's true purpose is that to identify, maybe idents should be simple and focused only on the central symbol, rather than trying to imitate trailers or adverts, as this can lead to the comparison of modern idents with actual adverts, as you can compare the BBC One channel presentation to an actual advertising campaign. The first one which comes into mind would be John Lewis. Here in this instance, the promo is the advert and the idents are the other parts to the advertising campaign. For example, the short adverts which show what you can buy at John Lewis, like the idents telling you that Match of the Day or The Apprentice is coming on BBC One, as those programmes are like the fancy gadgets you can buy in the store, thus being the components. The John Lewis adverts also had teasers, and they were based on emotional stories based around Christmas without being too Christmassy. Other than the debate of how an ident should be in the eyes of a traditionalist, there was going to be a downside, and that could be the choice of music to accompany the idents. The ident uses the same music as the promo, as the music is important to the central part of the campaign, but it is probably not really Christmassy enough. The song is Symphony by British electro-pop group Clean Bandit and Swedish singer Zara Larsson. I like this song despite not being a fan of modern pop music, and it was ubiquitous over the summer this year, therefore it can be far away from Christmas as it can be, despite the setting of the idents. You can though say, drawing back to my comparison with John Lewis adverts, that neither of the songs used in the John Lewis adverts have anything to do with Christmas, as the original versions were not released at Christmas, though the adverts were set in December, and for that reason I find it sad that cover versions of those songs are associated with Christmas. It does in this case of BBC One make sense to use this pop song in their ident for consistency's sake. Another advertising example could be House of Fraser during Christmas in 2015, where they used You Don't Own Me by Grace, which was used for the department store's Christmas advertising campaign, and this took some of the festive feel out of the advert, despite some of the goings on in the advert, and this approach was why I did not like that advert at the time. But maybe I like the John Lewis adverts and the BBC One ident better, mainly due to the story, and even though the meaning of Christmas could be lost in the idents and promo, the story of love in the campaign ties into the holiday, as Christmas is a time for caring and sharing, which was also the theme of the John Lewis adverts. One of my biggest fears this Christmas was that BBC One was going to keep up with the theme of the main idents like in the noughties or ITV Today, which would have been bland and have no jingles. I was thinking that we were due to see people either dressed as Santa in a shopping centre, having a mince pie eating competition, or trying on Christmas jumpers. Therefore, it is a positive to abandon the main oneness theme, and I do like to hear music in the idents despite the song's relevance to Christmas and it being more of a summer hit. These idents are of course better than the main oneness idents introduced earlier this year, and also better than last year's bland Christmas idents, which paved the way for blandness throughout the whole of this year. There were also other idents still with pointers to the main theme, which were shown either before the news or during the late night shifts, which included one of a countryside possibly surrounding the town the characters live in with no jingle, barring the viewers of Northern Ireland, and one of a shot in the kitchen as showing dancing would not be appropriate before the news, as they thought in 2015 with Sprout Boy, where they used a plain ident, and in 2009 where the Doctor, who featured in the main idents, was absent. I actually made a mock ident with the kitchen ident featuring the hot air balloon, which you can see on my YouTube channel. One thing after watching BBC One last Christmas, which I was wondering about, is whether we will see some special presentation on Christmas Day, like last year, where the channel invited its viewers to be in an ident and introduce the shows. Maybe not though. In conclusion, I do actually like these idents, and I am glad that for Christmas they have abandoned the main oneness theme. However, unfortunately we will see the same idents in the new year. But Christmas is a time to put your troubles behind you, and BBC One have helped here. Maybe this is telling us that we could be entering a new age of the TV ident, where there is more a story involved with the main characters. We are also seeing how idents are getting their ideas from other successful promotional campaigns, most notably Christmas advertising campaigns, and thus shows the mixing of adverts and idents to an extent. However, this is different to Channel 5, where the hard sell was focused on the products and companies which sponsored the channel, whereas here the hard sell is about the channel, thus not diluting the brand like TK Maxx would have done for Channel 5. BBC Two continue to recycle their idents from Christmas past. However, I am comfortable with that, as I do like the old BBC Two idents and hope that they do not change from their main theme where they brought back the 90s variants, and fear for what they will do if they did ever have a new look after looking at what BBC One has done recently. Some viewers may not like the recycling of old idents at Christmas, but I am not fussed as long as they are good idents, and this was the case over the last two Christmases, as I was glad to see this large Snowy 2 as I was in 2006 seeing the return of a lit up 2 from 2005. Some may say that this makes Christmas less special, as once upon a time a new ident was commissioned every year, but it still can be special if it is a good ident. This year it is the return of a 2011-14 ident, but with a different backing track, which also featured on the reinstated variations last year and does sound better than the 222 in 2015, which may have ruined the good idents for me. I like this ident and was impressed with it once I saw it for the first time, and I still feel good about it now. The main theme of the BBC Two idents in 2011 was the Window of the World, which did have similarities to the 90s variants, and the hole in the wall featured in the Christmas idents between 2007 and 2010. Therefore, the 2011 ident had nothing to do with the Window of the World, rather more in common with the 1990s and post-2015 era. Thus it fits in great with the theme used today. One thing to make it better would be to use a more BBC Two-like jingle. This ident would be up there for me alongside the 1991, 93, 98, 99, 2000 and 2005 BBC Two Christmas idents. Reusing idents is only unacceptable when the idents are poor. ITV have also recycled this year, however I am not surprised anyway. These idents first aired in 2013 and tie in with the 2002 Channel 5 nature of the idents being about the goings on in life, which is also the main theme, it seems, of the BBC One Oneness package. By the way, any ident on ITV is dull and drab these days, and I can't ever recall liking an ITV ident, probably since the days of the regions. For this reason, I want to go back 21 years to the first ITV Christmas ident I can remember. This is from the Granada region, the region I live in, and this for me is probably my all-time favourite Christmas ident to be aired on Channel 3. I like this mainly because the jingle is funky, and that was what made me giddy as a 5-year-old. Channel 4, fresh from improving their idents, have gave us thus far Christmas-themed promotional end boards with sprouts, but at the time of recording no Christmas ident had been commissioned, thus we were still seeing the Iron Giant. It's all good having good idents, but at least commission a Christmas ident. This is proof that everything has a downside, and that was proven 10 years ago on the same channel. The 1st of December also saw Channel 5 don their effort and finally put their logo in an ident. I may not say a lot about this ident, as I have done most of that in the Archive 5 Christmas special, and I am probably bored of talking about Channel 5 idents, as I've been doing that all year, which serves them right for having a 20th birthday. One thing I will add is whilst BBC One are trying something new and modern in their idents, Channel 5 have turned back the clock with Objects in Space. Overall, not a bad year for Christmas idents. The BBC One idents have a nice touch to them, and it seems like effort has been put into them, and they may get me thinking about what the future of the ident could be, especially at Christmas in the age of a Christmas advert reveal being a national event. Maybe this could happen with the Christmas ident. I'm happy with BBC Two, Channel 5 is good, but obviously ITV is a letdown. Let's hope Channel 4 are at the party soon. I am Tim Goodwin, over and out, wishing you to take care this Christmas and for peace in the new year.